Hey guys, it's ATTILEE. Despite the change of background, I am not doing like an average ATTILEE video. I'm just in a different location for filming today. I really wanted to talk about the last two episodes of Steven Universe, Rocknaldo and Tiger Philanthropist. Both were really exciting episodes for me based off of the fact that their character development, which are always fun for me to sink my teeth into and just like get at it. To begin with Rocknaldo, Ronaldo is not a fan favorite character. If you've never delved into any kind of Steven Universe fandom on social media, you might even be aware of the fact that Ronaldo is just by and far, next to maybe Kevin, not a real popular character for the Steven Universe fandom. But for me, I've always kind of enjoyed Ronaldo because of the fact that his flaws make him seem real. I don't know, but I've always enjoyed that in every Steven Universe character. Certain aspects that I find frustrating in Ronaldo are ones that I think a lot of people do too, is the fact that he seems very stagnant at times in comparison to others who, other characters in the Steven Universe who, when they make a mistake, tend to either own up to it or have some sort of reflection near the end of an episode that helps them propel forward. Ronaldo seems to have kind of been swimming in circles a lot of the time with things that he's dealing with other characters, be it with Lars or primarily with Steven and the Crystal Gems, since those are the folks that he's in primary conflict with. I'm hoping from Rocknaldo, though, that him being opened up at least gradually to the world of Crystal Gems and what they mean for Beach City and the greater world in general will sort of help tamper some of his more cringeworthy moments, if you will. Where he sort of just completely gets wrong what a crystal gem is, as well as just in general what it means to be a crystal gem. He sort of gets a voyeuristic experience into being a crystal gem, or at least some slight fulfillment there, but at the same time, his desire to be an ally to the crystal gems in the way that Connie is, I guess, isn't altruistic. It's inherently selfish, which sort of sets him up for failure. Ronaldo doesn't want to just support the crystal gems, he wants to be a crystal gem. And those are two totally different things. Being a crystal gem and supporting them, there's such different expectations there, and Steven has to sort of combat that throughout the entire episode with Ronaldo and how to just sort of tamper his desire to sort of take over in certain instances. But yeah, I found the commentary on what it means to be an ally to minority groups just really important, and something that I think will likely come along down the pipeline later in future episodes. I can't imagine that this is just like a total one-off. This seems like something that's building to a head in some degree, maybe with other Beach City citizens coming to realize exactly what crystal gems do. I don't know. Ronaldo's selfishness and Steven's outburst towards that near the end of the episode, and his sort of coming to being like, oh, I actually wasn't helping the cause that I thought I was helping in the first place, was really interesting, and a message that I think sometimes is hard to deliver to people who are in Ronaldo's shoes. There's lots of people with good intentions who end up sort of finding themselves trapped in really unintended selfishness. Even if that the selfishness might be a part of your personality, you just sort of ended up just wrapped in it, and it leads to so many problems, even though the intent was not to cause problems in the first place. So, I don't know, I just found that interesting, relatable. Maybe there's even some personal experience being drawn here from the crew that worked on this episode, I'm not sure. But I'm continuing to find Ronaldo frustrating, but also very fascinating to watch as he very slowly progresses towards hopefully some greater understanding of what it's like to be a Beach City citizen while being aware of this mysterious world of the crystal gems. I don't know. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll see, again, continued development from Ronaldo. I know so many people have just such low expectations, but I'm continuing to stay positive for Ronaldo's sake, because I really just can't fathom Steven Universe giving us another character to loathe as much as we loathe Kevin. Kevin is just on another plane, let's be real. So our second episode that we have to talk about today is Tiger Philanthropist, and this is like, I love the line in the episode. It's like the sequel that no one asked for, but I don't know, maybe it's my bizarre love for movies like Rocky and Rocky like 2 to like 12. God, there's like a million Rockies. I love unintended sequels. And so I really enjoyed this episode. Not only the fact that it just sort of is a huge callback to Tiger Millionaire, which is a personal favorite of mine, and all of the wrestling sequences, which, side note, in addition to Rocky, I do like elements of professional wrestling. I've never been to a live event, but I've watched it every so often when it comes on TV, and there's just this weird primal urge that sort of comes over you when you're watching it that I get. I definitely know that like Mark Burnett, among other Crewniverse members, like wrestling, and I really appreciate that they're just going for it for this episode, among others. It's just, I like sequels. I don't know, I'm just totally on a tangent now, but Tiger Philanthropist is not an empty sequel, let's be real. It is about Amethyst and her sort of coming, at least it feels to me at this point, full circle on her sort of acceptance of self. We sort of saw, it almost kicked off with originally Tiger Millionaire, her coming to terms and vocalizing the fact that she felt like not right in her own skin, and that's why she sort of decided to enter in as Steven, as Purple Puma in the Wrestling Federation of Beach City, the Underground Wrestling Federation, I should say. And that sort of helped her come to terms with self-acceptance. This is like step one of like 4 seasons of self-acceptance for Amethyst, coming to a head recently with the Famethyst, and her sort of seeing like, hey, look, even though these Amethysts look like Jasper, they love me, and they think that I'm really cool and funny and perfect just the way I am, and there are Jasper gems who are just as weird and different looking than I am, and they're accepted too. And so this sort of just huge surge of self-acceptance suddenly makes her realize, while being Purple Puma, this isn't fulfilling or a voyeuristic experience where I can pretend to be strong anymore, because I'm strong just as I am. So that sort of sudden realization hits her in the middle of this wrestling match with Steven. And so suddenly Steven, in his love for Amethyst and their sort of bonding experience over wrestling, finds himself sort of in an upheaval of, oh shoot, well what do I do now that Amethyst doesn't want to hang out with me in this way? And also, weirdly enough, suddenly feeling like he has to cater to fans like Lars based off of like his role in this sort of entertainment, if you will, as a wrestler for this Underground Wrestling Federation. There are just some great lines, and this is where I think definitely the wrestling fans at the Steven Universe crew just come out full force. Like the Wolf of Wall Street tag team, I can't get over the Wolf of Wall Street tag team, and just like the like little like asides, like, well actually I'm financially stable. Like I was rolling on the floor with that. I doubt like kids were, but I thought that was hysterical. I loved it. So much fun. I love all the tag team pairings. And Steven's lines as he becomes Tiger Philanthropist, like throwing his tiger bucks at people. This will cover your medical bills. It was just hysterical and so true to character for Steven to become a philanthropist from like this money-grubbing millionaire. I love Amethyst's return to Steven and her understanding of, oh, you were supporting me through all of this, and now I'm going to support you and help you realize that coming out on top, or in this case, bottom, given that their loss was pretty ugly, is the way to go. And so, I don't know. It was just such a fun episode. It was, just, again, a great full circle, at least it appears to be full circle, of Amethyst's huge coming of terms to accept self as she is different, given that she was an overcooked runt from the kindergarten. I don't know, and just some great fight animation. I know I love the fight animation from all of the other episodes where we've got like some serious like homeworld conflict, or like Jasper and Malachite in different like gem on gem fights, but getting to see the gems like Steven and Amethyst combat with humans is really interesting to me, and just sort of seeing how those mechanics work versus like the sort of fantastical elements that come into play with typical gem battles. I don't know. These 2 episodes were fun, really engaging, and at the very least, Rocknaldo gives me hope for continued plot lines or like similar elements in vein with Rocknaldo down the line as we continue to expand outwards with Beach City citizens coming to realize the full scope of what the crystal gems are like, in a similar way to how Connie and Ronaldo have sort of been let in on the inner circle, if you will. There is, I believe, 1 more episode this week on Friday. Sounds like it's regarding rubies. I'm thinking rubies that are orbiting Earth / the moon currently. That'll be interesting. And I'll definitely review that as soon as I can. Yeah, good episodes, really fun. I liked watching them, and again, as always, you will see me here later as soon as the next episode of Steven Universe is on. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.